Well, good evening and welcome to our Thursday edition of Sky Blue Fans TV during the summer. Yes, we thought we wouldn't have anything to talk about tonight, but we've got plenty to talk about. Obviously, we were talking about the team last week, who would want to stay and who would want to go. Well, the retained list was out and we weren't far away, was we? I think we got all of them right in a way, in our own little way. City Unseen moments. Oh, my God. Were there some tear-jerking moments for you guys? It was amazing, wasn't it? Absolutely amazing. Season ticket prices aren't out yet, so I don't know what's going on there. Not a Scooby-Doo about season ticket prices, but we're going to have a guess at how much they might cost us. Also, we've got a Hull fan and a Middlesbrough fan joining us tonight. They're going to tell us a little bit about their excitement for this weekend's game in the old playoffs, which has now been moved to 3:30 instead of 4:30. Well, who do you want to join us? Is there a player out there, one player that you would like to see in a sky blue shirt? Who would that be? Who would you like? And we are going to start the show off tonight with Spygate. Yes, we've got to talk about Spygate because we've got the Hull and Middlesbrough fan coming on, so that we're hearing what they think about it. And, well, without further ado, let's get our panel on. Let's bring them in. Good evening, Jack.
Evening, everyone.
Good evening. Nice shirt. Nice, like it. No, the other one behind you.
I know what you meant.
Brilliant. And yes, it's him. It's the Italian stallion that he is, Claudio Cardellino. Good evening, Claudio.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Yeah. You're not on my screen.
Oh, Tom?
No. Let me try. Hold on. Stay there. There. No, you're invisible, mate. You've gone.
Well, he's doing a better job than that spy, isn't he? No one can see him.
No one can see him.
That's weird because I can see myself.
No, definitely can't. No.
Can you see him can you guys watching on YouTube see him? Because we can't. He's invisible.
No, I reckon he's gone. He's vanished. Completely vanished. Anyway, while we're waiting for him, Covmaster, are you the Covmaster? Can you win this season coming, starting at the beginning of the season? We're doing Covmaster. Are you the champion all about Cov City? Now, we've had a few messages saying, what's it about? Well, it's about Cov City. So it's Cov City related quiz. Starting at the beginning of the season, 32 players we're after. I think we've got 6 so far. We'd love you to come on and join us. So if you would like to think that you know everything about the mighty Sky Blues, you will get a trophy at the end of it if you win. So get in touch, info@skybluefans.tv. Okay. Now it is just the three of us tonight. Ken's working. Vicky's at a concert. So I hope she's got a lot of sunscreen because it's going to be red hot. So if you want to take part, please do join us for Covmaster. Also, she's running a competition, Vicky. We showed you a ground last season. Here's ground number 2. Now, all the grounds have a link. What is the link? So what you got to do, email in info@skybluefans.tv. We showed you last week's, which was there, and this week's is here. And there's a link. So you've got to guess the link. Okay, brilliant. Now, I just want to shout out, Claudio, are you all right after your accident today? Because you've had a little bit of an accident, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine, thank you. And I'm not guilty, I'm pleased to say. It's just annoying because it doesn't look like a lot of damage. When you see it, I mean, those are the other 2 cars. I don't know how I got away with what I got away with, but my car's probably a write-off as well because it's pushed the wheels back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're okay. You're fine though, aren't you?
I am, but, I was planning to spend money on a holiday, not probably going to buy a new car now, which is annoying.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
You won't have to pay the money on your new car. You get an insurance payout and you can use that.
Well, yeah, but it won't be enough, will it? I want to,
No. You want a Rolls Royce, don't you, to go so you can turn up and go in the prawn sandwich area, don't you?
Right, sky blue one.
Yeah. So don't forget as well, you can like and subscribe tonight. It's free. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. Come on, let's get 100 thumbs up tonight. And also, if you want to get early access to the History Podcast and also of interviews out on the road with certain players, Michael Doyle, Liam Kelly, and Dave Boddy, you can join for $1.99 and you get loads of little emojis that you can put up on your comments, and $4.99, which you become a exclusive member, and it all goes towards the channel. So absolutely superb. So please give us a like and subscribe. Now, before we talk about Spygate, okay, I know we're going to start with that. But I don't know if you've seen this week. It's absolutely amazing, right? What I've found out this week is just phenomenal. And the reason I'm going to bring this up first, I know we're going to talk about Spygate straight away, but I don't know if you've seen James Muddyman. Okay, great name that, isn't it? James Muddyman has been drawing a picture. Now, he does these pictures. If it comes up, there you go. He does these pictures, which are absolutely fantastic. You can get any of these from his website, jkmartwork.com. But he's been doing this. Have you guys seen this week? Look at this. Absolutely brilliant. He sent me these across to show you stage by stage how he's been working it out. It's superb. It looks amazing. Look at this, how it comes along. It's brilliant, isn't it? And then we've got another one here. Look at that. Each day he's done a little bit on this. And it's all hand drawn. He's done it all by hand. No computer skills here. It's all hand drawn. And there's the final product. Now, incredible. I just thought I'd plug this because it is fantastic. Now you can buy, you can buy these online. He does an A3 version. All right. He does an A3 version and it is £20 for the A3 version. And he's got some A4 versions as well. So if you want one, head over to his website, go and order one now. It is all hand drawn. Obviously, the prints aren't. He's had a print run of it. But the original is all hand drawn, which is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it looks great, doesn't it, Jack?
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I can barely draw a stick man, so it's just incredible looking at that. The talent on display, unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. And what I like the facial expressions on, especially on Bobby Thomas and Victor Torp, and then you got Brandon Thomas Asante. I think that looks absolutely superb. What about you, Claudio, hiding behind the picture there? Do you like that? That's nice, isn't it? I reckon you should order one of them.
It's great, isn't it? I do like stuff like that. Very talented.
It is all hand drawn, which is just phenomenal. I could never ever do anything like that.
My niece is a brilliant artist, and she does portraits of people, but she does them upside down. I mean, she's not upside down, but she'll paint it upside down. It's I don't know how she does it, and it's one of those ones. Then she turns it around. You go, oh right, is it okay? I can see what it is now. Very clever, very clever.
It is. It's fantastic. Absolutely superb. So well done. And head over to his website and you can pick one of those up. Right then. So let's talk about this then. Spygate. I mean, look at this. Hey, you'd think you would be able to hide better than that, surely. But Jack, I'll come to you first. This is just unbelievable, isn't it? To think that you've got to get one of your members of staff to travel all the way up to Middlesbrough to get a video on a mobile phone, of all things, of what Middlesbrough are up to. But it isn't just Middlesbrough. There's a number of teams they've done this to. It wouldn't surprise me if they've tried to do it with us somehow. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? It's
just embarrassing, isn't it? Doing it and getting caught. What I want to know that no one's talking about is this. That is clearly blatantly obvious, and everyone is taking the mick that is so blatantly obvious. Well, how come Oxford didn't notice it, and the other team that I forget off the top of my head? How did the other two not notice that this spying was going on? Because it's probably the same intern. that was doing it. So how can you be that bad in the key moment? You're not even behind a tree. You just sort of stood in broad daylight. I really want to know what he did for Oxford and the other team to get away with it. But it's funny because the 3 games that he was caught spying on, Southampton didn't win a single one. That's the funny thing. I don't get it. They didn't do a very good job.
Apart from our game.
Well, yeah, that's the 3 that they've admitted to. Who knows if they were doing it more? Who are they more likely to spy on? Top of the league, Coventry City, or like Sheffield Wednesday? I think I know who they're more likely to go and spy against.
Yeah, definitely. And I suppose Oxford was one of them because of the way they probably set up against us and the way they set up against Middlesbrough. They probably wanted to find out, how to sort of break them down or whatever, but obviously it didn't work. But Claudio, it's embarrassing. I mean, he stormed out of a press conference last week when he got asked, "Are you a cheat?" And he just got out of his chair and he stormed out. I mean, if you're not guilty, you would sit there and defend yourself, surely.
Well, if it was all innocent analysis work, why would an employee be hiding behind trees, and bushes filming a training session? Nobody does that openly because they know it's wrong. I mean, it was so badly executed. He could have been wearing a high-vis jacket. It was just so poor. And like Jack says, they've admitted to spying on 3 clubs. Conveniently, the 3 clubs they didn't beat. So what about the rest then? That, to me, that's like saying, yeah, but look, we only spied on these 3 and it didn't really work, did it? Well, that doesn't wash with me whatsoever. They beat Wrexham away 5-1. That was a bit of a shock of a result, wasn't it? No one expected that. They played 4-1, 4-1 against us. They hadn't done that all season. I know Matt Grimes is a brilliant deep-lying, ball-playing midfielder. He's not the only one in the league. They didn't do that to any other team who's got a deep-lying midfielder. And let's not forget, the reports are that Tonder Eckhart gave the green light on spying. So the responsibility goes right to the top. And if that's the case, he's got to have a massive ban, at least a 3-year ban in English football, if not more. You can't have that sort of behaviour. It's just not on.
Well, I mean, go on.
And I'm thinking, the problem we have got, though, is that the EFL didn't set any proper rules down after Bielsa and Leeds. They should have said at the time, if this happens again, if it's during the season, 3 points deduction, whoever you did it to, get a 3-0 win. Simple as that. You don't play the game, they win 3-0. If it happens in the playoffs, you get kicked out, but then the team in 7th has to take your place. This is the I'm trying to think of the right word where
ambiguous.
Ambiguous. That the fact that Middlesbrough go into the final now because effectively they lost the game. So really they should have not played that second leg. They should have stopped it there and gone, hang on. They knew before the second leg something was up. They should have stopped it there and says, we need to investigate this now because it looks like you cheated in the first leg. And I know Conway could have scored a hat-trick and all that, and they probably should have blown them away. But they should have been stopped there, and they should have said, right, you're out. You're being kicked out. And then you bring somebody in, whether or not it was whoever finished 7th. Was it Derby or Wrexham? Wrexham. And then they just play a one-off game with Middlesbrough to see who goes to the final. No 2 legs, even if it's a neutral venue to make it a bit fairer. I mean, people say that the EFL are harsh. You probably remember this, Miles. Swindon beat Sunderland in a playoff final to get to the Premier League. Swindon beat Sunderland. They then got found out they'd done some financial irregularities.
Yeah.
They got dropped 2 divisions. Sunderland got promoted, even though they lost the playoff final. And then Swindon appealed and they put them back up a division into division what is the Championship.
Yeah.
This is not a new thing. People have forgotten this. They were talking about it on Talk Sport. They hadn't even mentioned this. They were saying, it's never happened before. They've never been this, well, they have been this harsh. So you can't have an advantage. Football needs to be fair. You can't have clubs gain an advantage through spying. It's pathetic. They can fly drones. No one really notices things like that, do they? It's little things. It's interesting because I don't know if anybody watched the Villa game last night and they were talking afterwards about the free kick routine, saying they did it that morning. They tried it in the morning or 2 days ago. Then they did it once. who's to say somebody isn't watching that routine going, hang on, is that what they're going to do at the first corner? That routine, and be prepared for it. Shouldn't be allowed. And just because it seems harsh, but I feel sorry for the fans and I feel sorry for the players. I don't feel sorry for that Taylor, what's his face, because I feel sorry for the fans who didn't do that with binoculars, dressed in camouflage, who acted like complete cocks, basically. I feel sorry for the Southampton fans, of which my daughter's fella's one, who felt really embarrassed by it all from the minute it was announced. Didn't want, and it is embarrassing. You imagine if that was us, and it was our club had done that. We were embarrassed enough when it was sharing a football ground. We didn't really want to talk about it, did we?
No.
People mention it, you go, no, I don't want to talk about it. It's embarrassing. This is worse. It's proper crap, really.
I think the thing is, I mean, this come out after the second leg, didn't it? So this came out after the second leg, but they must have known something beforehand, like you say, so they could have put a stop to that particular game, couldn't they? But I mean, we say it's harsh, but it has to be done to stamp it out. And when you look at players being banned for so many years for fiddling gambling bets, that sort of thing. I think Juventus as well got kicked out of Serie A as well for something. Was it their chairman? I think did something, didn't he? It
was like the number 2 or number 3 had done certain meals with club of referees and things like that to go easy. The truth is, if you're playing in that game, you might probably think, "Oh, can't believe you got a free kick for that," not realising the referee's been bought.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, it's not only they've been kicked out, they've also got a -4. I mean, it's very cold down there. It's very hot out here, but I mean, I don't know how cold it is. It must be freezing down there. But they've got -4 points starting off next season. Jack, the players as well have gone to the PFA because they're unhappy with what's gone on, because they're going to lose out money-wise because of what's gone on at the club. They're saying that they want the manager booted out now. But I've heard that some of the players want out of the club. They want out of the club.
It wouldn't surprise me, and fair play to them. I mean, obviously the transfer window's not open. It's got about 10 days. Southampton need to launch an internal investigation very, very quickly. They need to get rid of anyone and everyone who is involved in this from the top down. Players obviously aren't involved in this. So if you, as a chairman, you want to keep your best players, you're going to want to go and get rid of Eckert, get rid of all of his coaching staff that he brought to Southampton. Unfortunately, to the intern, I know he was probably dropped in it and forced upon him, but that's his career sorted, gone, finished. Unlucky lad. You could have refused. I'm not saying that's an easy thing to do, but, he could have got out. And at that point, you may be able to reinvent the club. You may be able to say, right, we've got rid of every single person that was involved in this behind the scenes. We're bringing a new staff. Please reevaluate your thoughts of wanting to leave the club. But for now, anyone that says they want to leave, I get it. But like Claudio says, Eckert needs a ban, a big one, from English football. If he ever turns up managing a Bundesliga side or whatever and appears in Europe, he's going to get booed like hell in this country. Or maybe, some fans might clap and laugh at the fact that he's done that to Southampton, but it's not right. Football, whenever we have tricky conversations, we always go back to football is for the fans. Well, what Southampton did, or not Southampton, but what a select few people decided was not for the fans. And the fans are the one that are suffering.
And we know what that's about, don't we, Claudia? We know what it's all about, to be suffering, but not through this sort of thing. But it's just, I can't get my head around it. Well, I'm mind boggled by it. I mean, I watched Sky Sports News today, and our friend who came on here earlier on in the year, the Southampton fan, he'd planned all his trip because he lives on the Isle of Wight. Planned all his trips to come over. Bought train tickets, ferry tickets. There was even a guy that's flew all the way from Australia, spent $6,000 to fly all the way from Australia, and he didn't know until he landed that it's all been cancelled. It's just it is the fans, isn't it? It's just awful. And I heard on Sky today, it's like they were saying to him, next season, every ground you go to next season, everyone's going to be taking the mickey out of you. You fans, they're going to be laying into you. I mean, it's going to be awful for them, isn't it? I remember when we dropped down to League Two, and I was like, I don't think I could stand going to any away games here because we're just going to take the mickey out of us. But I did every game. But it's horrible, isn't it, Claudio? It's awful.
Well, can you imagine if we'd done some misdemeanor and we'd been docked, I don't know, 16 points, wherever the difference was to third. How many was it, Jack? I can't remember that. It's so long ago since we won the league.
About 15, something like that, yeah.
And they got, we've been accused of doing whatever, and they've turned around and gone, after all the celebrations of getting promoted, to be told, I'm sorry, we're docking 20 points because you've done this, you've done that. You've paid your players wrongly, or there's been whatever. And we've got no control over it. It will leave some of them devastated. And you have no control. This is what's so annoying with some. And it's even worse, it's the manager. What is all that about? And apparently the owners didn't have a clue what was going on. I mean, we're talking millions. It's a £200 million game. They didn't win the game, so you can't say they've lost 200 million because you're presuming Hull are going to roll over, which they probably wouldn't. But it is a real. Well, it's embarrassing, isn't it?
But then, Claudio, on top of your 200 million paycheck that you get roughly for winning the player final, you've then got increased TV revenue. You've got less games to have, so you've got less expenditure to have in the Premier League. And then you get, 150 million across 2 seasons for parachute payments to be relegated. Now, I know they currently have another year of parachute payments, but that could be stopped. You never know. This isn't finished. I'm convinced this isn't finished. God knows what further implications it will have for them next season. But you're talking 400 plus million, plus the stability of the club is in shambles.
The guy came from nowhere and was regarded as a genius all of a sudden. This is a guy who's done next to nothing. And you just think, wow, incredible this run he's had and all the results and the away wins.
26 games.
Yeah. And, the performance against Arsenal, Fulham.
Yeah.
Even Man City.
Yes, even Man City. So you have to wonder what was going on. It probably was too good to be true, and it looks like it was. That they obviously had a lot of insider information. I mean, I know it's down to the players to do it on the pitch and all the rest of it, but you can get ahead of the game like this, can't you? In certain areas.
I mean, that's not come up. Why has that not come up? I mean, these are the games that they said that they'd spied on. So Oxford ahead of a 2-1 defeat in December, 2-2 draw in April against Ipswich, and a 0-0 in May at Middlesbrough. But there's got to be more than that. There's got to be more than that. It has to be.
Why would you need to spy on Oxford?
Exactly. We couldn't beat them.
Yeah, but no need to. There's no need. There's no need. It's just ridiculous.
No. But do you know what? And this is the worrying thing because, I was saying about the fans. I mean, this is what they've had to put up with this week. You know, I mean, you imagine if that was us. I mean, that would kill me seeing something like that about us. Yeah. That would really, really hurt. And this one as well. I seen a video yesterday of the Middlesbrough fans going into Wembley Stadium, and the Southampton players were trying to put their tickets on to try and get in. They couldn't get in. It's just, it's just unbelievable. And then you got these memes as well. Look, Southampton's not just out there, out Cheetos. And then you got Dow Boys selling the half and half scarves. That's the best one. Sorry, I love Dow Boy. That's one of the best ones. It's just ace. But they're having to put up with that. It's just unbelievable. I can't, for the fathom of me. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't understand how you as a manager can do that. I just, it's just beggars belief. Should we get some comments in? Because we've been talking for ages. We normally get them in quicker than this. Are we all right with comments?
Jack, do you want to do them?
Oh, yeah, all right then.
Oh, hold on a minute. What's happened to you? You didn't do them last week. You're not doing them tonight.
Well, I'll do some in a bit.
Oh, good. Well, okay. Go on
He
then.
basically had no prep time, so he wants me to do it so he can prep the next lot. That's all it is.
Oh, is that what it is? Is it?
Paul Cuthbert says, regarding Spygate, it's Southampton out, not Borough in, but Hull to be promoted directly. I don't care about season ticket prices because mine will be free. Ha 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 ha. What an investment that was. Well, he's just summed up our show. There you go. Talk about
Cheers,
guys.
Paul. Right, let's finish.
If there are Saints players that interest us, let's get into their agencies and offer them Premier League football. Are there?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this today. It's I've had a pretty eventful day. Yeah, they've got a few, but I would take Cienzo. I would.
But he played either backup or is as good as EMC. He's no major improvement. If you want to go and do well in the Premier League, you need to improve on these players, not bring in players of equal ability.
I just think he'd do the business.
To be honest, I think he's more fluid.
There's something about him, isn't there? Excuse me, I've just got to move my chair because it's rubbing against the wall and it's squeaking and it's annoying me.
Mark R again says, if you admit to breaking the rules 3 times in 2 different competitions, then what did they expect? People calling you the Invisible Man, Claudio, and Incognito from the start.
Well, my car was invisible this morning when he hit me, that's for sure.
Rob says, absolutely no sympathy whatsoever for Southampton. Acted disgustingly both times we played them. I hope they suffer more repercussions and get docked more points.
The FA are involved now. It could get even worse.
Says, please Borough at Wembley. Saints just came across as cocky and arrogant. Spygate's been better than any soap opera. It was more interesting than Arsenal winning the Premier League. Yeah, I mean, Arsenal won the Premier League the other night, and no one's talking about it. They think it's obviously the biggest deal ever, and it's a shame they haven't bottled it again because that would have been funny. But no one cares because of this.
It is. Wow. It is worse. Well, it's never worse winning the league, but not being at the ground is rubbish, isn't it?
It could have happened to us.
I know. I'm so glad we were in the ground both times when we got promoted and won the league. It's so much better.
Yeah. But fair play to their marketing team because they got straight away out with the merchandise. We haven't.
We'll come to that.
I know, we'll come to
that. Stephen Humphries says, Spygate has been blown massively out of proportion. I don't agree with what Southampton did, but to go from a fine for expulsion is nuts. The worst part is Borough gets a 3rd undeserved shot at promotion. Doesn't feel fair at all. Interesting opinion.
I like that. I like that opinion. That's
Wayne
good.
says, Spygate's been brilliant. Good result, and hopefully it will stop other clubs doing it again. Absolutely. Martin King says, no James Bond, is he? About... is it William Salt, his name is? Cov9290 says, the funny thing about Spygate is that Mourinho did it a lot. John Terry said he had a recording of Sam Allardyce Bolton training session before they played them back in the day. There you go. From that pick, Ken could have done a better job in his army gear. Where's that picture?
Oh, where's that picture? See if you get it's in our WhatsApp group. See if you can find it. Put it up.
I will in a bit.
Yeah.
I think you'll find it'll increase from 3 teams to more once a full investigation takes place. It could be.
Yeah.
When they spied on Ipswich, the secret agent, it's a bit of an extravagant word for a spy, but okay, dressed as a member of a non-league club that were training at the same location.
Yeah, they train at Eastleigh FC sometimes, Ipswich, and they trained as members of the staff. I mean, this is just it's bad. It's bad. They deserve to be kicked out.
Do you reckon they could be kicked out the league as well?
No,
they might get a heftier points deduction.
You reckon? Wow.
It's embarrassing, Miles. They got all that parachute payments and all that. Shouldn't be resorting to this. If anything, they should take the payments off them.
Yeah.
But they're the trouble is they're from the Premier League, aren't they? They're separate.
Yeah, it's different.
Separate, aren't they?
Frank Wood says, can you actually see any training from outside Brighton? Well, if you've got a drone, you might be able to.
And also, there are some houses that look over it. Who's to say that they haven't knocked on someone's door and said, excuse me, would you mind if I just...
Come into your bedroom?
Yeah. You don't know, do you? You don't know. Or they could have gone next door to the crane company, and they could have on one of them cranes.
Jesus Christ, it's getting crazy. Dawn says they've definitely done it to more clubs, but are never going to own up to it. There are going to be heads that roll for it. I was just hoping that Harwood Bellend was going to be involved so he could pay for being a vile man.
The thing is, the report will come out from the EFL, and you'll be able to see all the evidence and everything, which is
well, yeah. Martin says the FA are investigating individuals at the club, so this is far from over. Exactly.
Yeah.
Frank Wood says there's going to be a full investigation in Southampton by the EFL. There is more to come. Cheats never prosper. Our results against them at home sound like suspect, like Claudio's saying, says Wayne Brewerton. Callum Power says, I don't think many players will hang around. Who would you take from Southampton? Well, we've said Cienza. And anyone else off the top of your head, guys?
Well, to be honest,
I'll have to look at the team.
Harwood Bellend is a pretty good player, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the trouble, isn't it? Cameron Archer.
Yeah, don't know.
There's enough in there. They're not rubbish, that's for sure. I mean, regardless of the spine, they went on an incredible run at the end of the season. They are good enough. And they're good enough to be in the top 6 without the spine. And they were good enough to probably get top 2 with that squad. Just poorly managed when they had the football manager guy? Will Still running the show. To me, that's just poor recruitment by the owners.
Shocking.
Yep.
Uncle Jonga says Tonda Eckert is a disgrace and should never work again. There you go. Well, not in England, not in this country.
No.
Steve Price says Southampton deserve everything they've had thrown at them. Their captain is a disgrace, abusing Ayling and celebrating in opponents' faces. Yeah, we got the picture of that. Martin says, as a Canadian, I can tell you we were all livid at the men's and women's national team managers caught spying flying drones. Herdman and the other one got banned a year by FIFA. There you go. Foxy Muldoon. Now that's a spy's name, not William Salt. It's Foxy Muldoon. That's the name you want. If Eckert gets sacked, it looks like he has all the attributes and skills to become a politician.
That's true.
I'd take Larin in a heartbeat. A cheap, viable striker. We can loan him out if necessary, but he would be cheap insurance. There you go. Don't forget the playoffs are different competition from the league. Spying in the league got them the points deduction. They aren't points in the playoffs. That's why they got kicked out. Good way of looking at it. Personally, I don't think the punishment was enough. Bringing the game into disrepute is very much frowned upon, says Mark. There you go. A few other comments saying they don't like Harwood Bellend, saying that they should be kicked out. A lot of agreeing. Green Fingers says, bet they spied more than 3 times, probably checked out for our set pieces, but then who's been promoted? It's us. To be fair, the Premier League have been trying to get punishments for teams given out in the season. That's why West Brom got their points deduction when they did. There you go. How have those half and half scarves sold by the non-club guys got on now they're incorrect and flags? Well, they don't care because they've probably made their money selling them. Although they'll probably have stock, won't they?
They'll be rare in the future.
Be collectible.
Well, yeah. Those 3 games are the only ones where they've been found out from the CCTV. There you go. Who's going to sponsor Southampton? Could really cost them millions. Well, Cheetos are an option, aren't they? They should have just used their Club Scout or even Chat GPT. You might get some information.
I just find it odd. Well, they just didn't go to games. When I've been sat in the lounges near where we used to sit, Miles, remember there's a couple of guys there with pen and paper and writing stuff down all game. When I sat next to Dave Pleat, and I can't think he was scouting for, but he was doing a bit for some club.
Yeah, you do. You get ex-players or scouts in there, jotting down information. It's like when I was at the under-21s and we bumped into Cyril Regis, he was there doing work for scouting for players for West Brom. So, he would probably be at the game to see, or West Brom would have someone to go to a game to see, what we're up to, because you do, don't you? Frank was at a game, wasn't he? I remember Mark Robbins was at a game, wasn't he? When he was in charge, he went to a couple of games because the cameras panned to him and said, "Oh, look, Mark Robbins is here."
But that's being honest and upfront, isn't it? I suppose. Whereas what these guys are doing just weren't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anthony Pettifer says, feel sorry for Hull as well. Then Borough trying to make last-minute trips and bookings, etc. There you go. Sad day for football with Spygate, says Andrew. I've got lots of Saints supporting friends that are all disgusted with this. The statement from the club after they were kicked out was tone deaf as well. Ridiculous. Tari Joe says Middlesbrough will be 6 points for us next season. That'd be good. We want Borough up, says Carl O'Connor, for 6 points. The championship next season is going to be a stinker to get out of. The 3 teams coming down: Southampton, who still have parachute payments, Wrexham, Brum, Millwall, Norwich as well. Yeah. Sheffield United as well. They've still got a decent squad, but that's probably going to fall apart a little bit. Careful, gents. The league will think Ken was spying. Could they get a transfer ban, says Alison Berry. That's a very good point.
Well, they might not have a team the way they're going, the way I'm hearing what players are saying.
My dad says maybe they only admitted to these games because they didn't win. Maybe they did more but won some of them, like against us, perhaps. There you go.
Well, they're not going to admit to the games that they won, are they? You know what I mean?
Ian Small says Manning at left back.
Good shout.
Yeah, good shout. Like that one.
Ralph Wiggins says he feels sorry for the fans. And I did say that if Arsenal bought Gyökeres, they would win the Premier League. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you're right.
Wow.
Well done, Victor.
It's interesting that the 2 teams with the best set-piece records in the top 2 divisions have both won the league this season.
Yeah, brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no,
by the way, talking about Victor, he's good mates with Rich Overson. Rich, I hope you're feeling better. He's had a knee operation today. So he's had a replacement knee. So I hope you're on the mend, mate. I've told you earlier, get a holiday booked. Get away. That's what you need.
There you go. Maybe he was in Vegas. We don't know.
No, he didn't go to Vegas. He just took them to the airport.
All these players going cheap be like sorting a box of M&Ms for the sky blue ones. John Murch says he could play the tree in the next Wizard of Oz film. Big acting career ahead for the bloke who got caught. Big call for trees in the world of acting, I imagine.
I seen something yesterday. Someone's done a 3D print of the tree and the lad standing behind it and made it into a pen holder for your desk.
Well, it should be a binoculars holder.
No, it's just a pen holder. He just did it for the fun of it, didn't he?
Do you think he was like a decoy? Do you reckon they just had him there so he'd get spotted, but actually there was somebody else spying elsewhere? Because it just seems so ridiculous that he stood there with an iPhone. Just how much info could he have got on that iPhone?
You got a good zoom. You got a good zoom. And the thing is, it's the golf club belongs to Middlesbrough. It's a private golf club, and it says private property. No one's allowed on apart from obviously members. And yeah, it's just madness. It's just madness. Someone's asked where Ken is tonight. Is he at the Binley Mega Chippy? No, he's working. He's on lates. He works 2 till 10 today. Mark Cunningham. Sorry, Mark. Yeah, he's working.
Mark Reed, a few more for you. Mark Reed says Spurs could still go down and Man City get a 40-point deduction with no Pep. We could stay up. You never know. I don't think they'll punish Man City like that.
I put a poll out. I put a poll out on YouTube this week of who's going to stay up, West Brom or Spurs, and Spurs are winning it at the moment.
Southampton sponsor now Specsavers. We see and hear more than others. Brilliant. Uncle Jonga says the only reason I don't want Middlesbrough to go up is for us to poach Hayden Hackney. There you go. Man City and Chelsea still haven't been bought into account, and yet Southampton have within days. Yeah,
different league. Different league, isn't it?
And one accusation, really, isn't there? Yeah.
There you go. I've not read all the comments. Sorry if I haven't got to you, but I'm sort of caught up on that topic now.
Okay, brilliant. Love it. I just think it's balmy. Anyway, let's go on to our next little subject then. City Unseen. Jack, you messaged me the other day and you said, we need to talk about this because there were some tear-jerking moments watching that. It was amazing, but what a great city and scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable. We're all waiting for this to come out. I mean, it still shocked me when it came out, but some unreal footage of the bus journey so I spent all the day at the park with Claudio. I know you were there as well, Miles. So didn't see any of the bus parade. So actually seeing it from the top of the bus out onto the streets and was fantastic. And then the whole bit from the players coming out, the enemy, Grennan, all at the park. No, I know I was there, but just reliving that and remembering that the season we've had to get to this point, just emotional again. Just watching it, goosebumps all the time, watching that stuff. I don't think I would ever tire of watching this season or anything from it ever again, because it has just been the best ever.
It has. I mean, there was some amazing moments. I mean, I'm still up in the air whether Frank Lampard, when he was on stage, if he was just shell-shocked by everybody there and the moment, or if he was really drunk. What about you, Claudio? Because to me, he looked like he was more shell-shocked than drunk. But then if you put the two together, yeah, it could be, a bit of both. What do you think? A great moment to see him up there like that.
Yeah, you put the two together, you get Frank Lampard on the stage as he was, because he's definitely had a few Carlins, hasn't he?
Stellars.
Stellars of the beers are available.
Yeah.
And he was taken aback by it, wasn't he? And I can see why, because when you see the footage, you kind of go, wow, that does look quite incredible from the stage. You know, and I really think Frank Lampard's bought into Coventry City. I've got this feeling. If he was to leave, I'd be really surprised and I would be disappointed. I don't care who comes in for him, because it does feel like, and he spoke about it a lot, how he never realises what kind of support there is in the city for the club. And you can feel it. I've said this before, you can really feel it around the city now and in the stadium. And I think the players thrive off it. Just look at the home record. The home record's incredible since he's come in. We could have easily, as a fan base, I've said this before, gone, we love Mark Robins, we're not interested in Frank Lampard. And it didn't matter what he does, he can do no right, can he? Basically. But no, the fans, to our credit, we got behind him. It does help when you win a load of games after Christmas in the second half of that season when he first came in. But we still got behind him and we thought, okay, Mr. King, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt here and we'll go with it. And it's proven to, got promotion. We've done what we had to do. And when he looked out onto that field to see all those people, well, he must have felt like a rock star. I know he's a footballing star, and you can see the way he was looking at Tom Clark, isn't it? From the enemy. He was looking at him with admiration.
And I was going to say, he was watching him, weren't he? He was like that, wasn't he? He was like, oh.
I thought I was magnificent. I think he just couldn't believe his eyes, basically. And in fairness, I think Doug King as well, with the effing and jeffing. He was taken aback by it all as well. You know, and I love seeing the players come out from the stage. It looked great, didn't it? Because you couldn't quite see that in the crowd, could you?
Yeah.
Where they were really endorsing and just the moment and a bit of class by Frank Lampard starting the Jamie Allen song.
Yeah.
And the way he said, this is what we're all about. And you think, fair play. So what a day. I loved it. I mean, I must admit, seeing the footage of the coach and that, and I kind of wish I was out in the streets as well, because that looked amazing. But I thought I'd pick one, and I'll go to the field. And it was a great day. It was a great day.
Jack, I mean, that evening after the Watford game on the Unseen as well looked really, really good. The way they've rebranded the Elephant I still believe it's going to be that's going to be the branding in the executive lounges. It's going to be on clothing. I think I've got a sneaky feeling that's something that's going to happen. And it's going to be all on the knives and forks, napkins, everything, plates, whatever there is going to be at the ground. But I mean, to see that as well after the Watford game, that was brilliant. And Grimes' little speech was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we saw obviously little bits of things from the club that night or the following morning. And for any of you that have watched the Gordon Ramsay documentary on Netflix, it's at Bread Street Kitchen at 22 Bishopsgate in London. The documentary is fantastic. If you're interested, I'm not making any profit from saying that, but it's just a fantastic documentary. And just watching that, recognise that that's where the players were. They're obviously going to be well looked after, and it looked like they had a fantastic time. You know, the Scare-Electrics and the F1 simulator that apparently Oliver Dovin is unbelievable at. Who'd have thought? Well, he's had a whole year off, hasn't he? So
yeah, exactly.
He's honing his F1 skills. Yeah, just fantastic. And do you know what? As much as we all want a big old jolly drunken session with the players, it's nice to see that the levels that the club have developed again, because 7 years ago when we got promoted from League Two, it was a sesh at the Fizzy Moon, wasn't it, Claudio?
Yes, what a night that was.
Yeah, and now you don't get to do that with the players.
No.
As horrible as that is, we all want to do that. It's nice that we've actually got a professional thing going where they go and hire out a Gordon Ramsay restaurant for the evening, and the players can just go and spend time with maybe their plus ones. But I don't know who was there, to be honest. It might have just been players and staff. But to have a proper professional, posh night out is fantastic, and it just shows the club where we've come from and where we are now.
Yeah, it really is, and I still say it when I was stood there. You watch it every year, other teams doing what we did on the stage, and you always think, is it ever going to be us one day? Is it ever going to be us one day? And it was finally us. And I still can't believe it myself. It just beggars belief. I remember us in October on this show, and we were all getting really excited because we were top of the league. And everyone was saying, "Oh, the season's not over yet. It's not finished yet. You haven't won the league yet. The season's got a long way to go." And we go, "We've won the league. We've won the league." And we were joking, weren't we? We were messing around. We know what it's like. We know we could go on and shut up. You were, and you know you're going to go on a run like we did over Christmas. And to be able to achieve what we did and have that parade is just unbelievable. I had a workman turn up today unannounced. I didn't know he was coming to do something to the windows, and he turns up and he goes, "Oh, you're miles off Sky Blue Fans TV." I went, "Yeah." He goes, "That parade was amazing, wasn't it? And the park was amazing." I says, "Yeah." I said, "We didn't see the parade. We were in the park." And he says he couldn't believe it. He said he still can't believe that we've won the league. That's how much people are thinking about it. You know, we've been and gone and done it. It just seems mad, really balmy. And to have us in front of 50,000 at the Memorial Park, it's just crazy. That 50,000 was at Wembley, in the Checker Trade final. It's like, well, near 150. It was 48,000, wasn't it, or something? I mean,
going back to what Jack was saying, Mars, about the evening, the meal. That's a proper touch of class by our owner, really.
Yeah.
It's a different level, isn't it? He's coming from a different place now. This is an owner who likes nice things.
Yeah.
He goes to see the Royal Ballet, doesn't he?
Yeah. Excuse me, sorry. Dog's going mad. Wife's just got back from London, so they're going balmy.
New member on the panel.
It's a touch of class, isn't it? And it's just totally different now. We're under a new regime, and I don't know if anybody's watched the podcast where the Sunderland top brass is on, and he talks about behind the scenes at Sunderland how they've now got a Michelin star restaurant. So you've got corporate, real high level, down to your budget level. So there's something across the board for all fans in that respect. I can see us going that way because of the arena, because of the facilities there. Could easily do it. It wouldn't surprise me to have a Michelin star restaurant on match day somewhere. Yeah, for, probably for 50 people. That's how they'll do it, or 100, and you have because people will pay for a special day out. If you only do it, if you do it once in a while, people will do it. Because most people we've spoken to who go to the corporate side will say they've had a really good time. And they said it's worth the money. Even the people who do the kids who go for ball girls and ball boys and not ball boys, but the mascots, sorry. Because people say, it's so expensive. They sell every week, don't they? Always sold out.
Yeah.
So
special times are happening at the club, and
definitely
we've just got to go and enjoy the ride. And I think we're going to give a good account of ourselves in the old Premier League. To be honest, I'm quite looking forward to it. To be fair, let's get some more comments coming through. Let's have a little look at these.
Are you taking over, Claudio?
No, you're doing such a good job. I've started.
All right.
I ain't having this.
Well, just before we do, we've
just because you've been in a car accident.
I've just heard from our correspondent who's out in the field. Here he is. There he is, our in-house spy. Don't forget, he knows about 2 signings that are coming in. Definitely.
No, three or 4.
It's always 2 with Ken, isn't it? We got 2 in. He said 2 more. He wasn't wrong. We did get 2 more in January. John says, Claudio, don't be sending your Diddy men to spy on Arsenal, hiding behind the blades of grass. Marie Shipley, I love watching the parade and was excited afterwards to see it on live stream on TV at my daughter's house. We saw all the footage until the bus arrived to the park, and then we had lunch to celebrate my daughter's birthday. The park scenes on City Unseen looked fantastic. Yes. Foxy Muldoon said Jonah did well to present Hadji with his award. That's nice touch class there. Just to confirm, that wasn't arranged by the club before anyone starts going on about it. Finn says, oh, when the sinners go marching out, no, they beat us cheats. Ian Small says, Unseen was a tearjerker. I'm still on a high. One big hope when we hit challenges next year, the fans stay positive. Oxford at home heard a few boos. We must stay behind the team. I completely agree. Will, King of Shaves. It's my party and you can spy if you want to. I feel so much for the fans of Southampton. Reputationally devastating for a generation. Meanwhile, Cov, the elephants in the room. Thanks for watching again, Will, as always. Martin says, I've been playing the Premier League theme song today just to remind myself that this is all real. Foxy Muldoon says, if we won Div 1 in the 80s, they would have celebrated at the Parsons Nose and went to the arcade next door rather than Gordon Ramsay and F1 simulators. Will says, should be it's our party and we can spy then cry if we want to. Classy in London by Doug. Were you not invited to that one, Will? Doesn't sound like it. Steve Price, 25 Cov fans met up in Cardiff to celebrate a stunning season and then to put in an outstanding performance like that. It was absolutely unbelievable. Finn says, any transfer rumours very quiet. We'll have our expert Ken back next week to give you all of our transfer latest.
You got ages yet. You got ages till the window opens.
You don't get anything out of Doug.
You'll hear it on Sky first. Because look at tonight. Look at tonight. They've announced the England team already. It ain't even out on till tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So Harry Maguire ain't going, and Ivan Toney's going to be in the England team. What?
Well, we can talk about that next week when it's out.
Oh, great.
Mark R says, Claudio is so Premier League, he doesn't do championship comments.
I'm so excited.
Steve says, when I saw all the Cov tops in the Memorial Park, totally took my breath away. It's a fantastic photo, that was. Lampard saying that was Ben Wilson dropping the glass in the restaurant shows how close they are. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, he dropped the glass, yeah.
Will says, no, but my pro rugby playing son Cam was able to go. Fantastic. There you go, up to date again.
Fantastic, superb. Well, we're waiting for our Middlesbrough and Hull guest to arrive. Let's hope they don't let us down and they do turn up. But in the meantime, before we talk about the other subject, Vicky's got the competition going. Here you go. This is the second photo of the competition. You've got to guess what the link is. So this was this week's. If you watched last week's show, it was this ground. And there's going to be, is it 19?
11.
11. I was close. 11 grounds. And there's a link to them all. If you want to have a guess, there is a prize up for grabs as well. Send us your answers to info@skybluefans.tv. Have a guess. And each week we'll be showing you a different picture, which is fantastic. Also, if you think you know everything about Coventry City, okay, I don't. I ain't got a clue half the time. Not as good as Claudio anyway. Covmaster, are you the champion? We've got a new quiz starting soon, which is going to be start of the season. We want you, the fans that are on the show, or whoever, if you know anyone else who wants to join us, we want 32 players in a knockout tournament, 1 versus 1 each week. You will come on here. You'll have 10 questions each, and the one who gets the most right, you will go through to the next round. So if you want to come on, there is a trophy at the end of it. info@skybluefans.tv. What a better time to start this when we're in the Premier League. Absolutely superb. So if you want to enter, info@skybluefans.tv, and it's all about Cov City. So come on, let's get your entries in. Let's see how good you are. And Claudio's going to do all the malarkey questions and everything else. Also, your last time with tattoos doing. There it is. It's doing rather well. Thank you very much. It's healing very well. So, yeah, thank you very much for asking. Will's had his done, and his is very sore. So I'm glad, really, because he was taking the mickey out of me when I had mine done. And his is really sore today and yesterday. So, yeah, it hurts. It really hurts on your leg. So, yeah, there you have it. Right, we've got one of our guests in the background. We're going to bring him in. I'm sure Claudio's got loads of questions to ask him. Are you ready, Claudio?
I'm doing it, am I? Okay.
Yeah, you are. You invited him on. You invited him on. Yeah, you got out the comments. I need to have a rest now. Let's bring him in. We've got a Hull fan joining us as well in a moment. We're going to get a head-to-head with them. But good evening, Jonathan. I'll hand you over to the lovely Claudio Cardellino.
Hello. How are you?
Good evening, Jonathan. Let's go back a few months, shall we? When you actually toppled us, got to the top of the table, and obviously we were very disappointed, and you guys were absolutely ecstatic, and it felt like you'd done the work, and then you came to our place, and we know what happened after that, and you had a bit of a collapse, and you couldn't win any games at home, which is astonishing, because before then your home record was fine, wasn't it? What was the feeling between the fan base? Did it feel like you just weren't going to do it?
Yeah, we do it. It was interesting, wasn't it? Because after Sheffield United and that away win, plaudits were coming from everywhere. It wasn't just the Borough fans going mad for Hellberg and the style of football. It was all over the place. And even Wilder was magnanimous enough to give us some praise. So yeah, to come into your place, I was there. I went, and you did a number on us, didn't you? Lampard changed the game. He worked us out, and the team, you put in a great performance and done us. And that seemed to be a springboard for you and a bit of a nosedive for us. But it's one of those things. The metrics of Borough over those games, and especially the bottom half table ones. So if you look at Oxford, Blackburn, Portsmouth, for example, even Bristol City. Charlton. I mean, Charlton played their bloody B team against us because they were preparing for a bigger game at the weekend. And we put in shots galore, but the key stat was we didn't put it in the net. And that, to be honest with you, that was the key to the downfall. If you look at your home games, we had 6 games. I'm not going to reel them off, but 6 games against bottom half teams at home. We scored 4 points. You lot, I think, got 16 out of the 18 points. I think even Hull got 10 points out of the 18. That was a big hole in our season, and all those games were at home against bottom half teams. So yeah, there was a lot of frustration in the fan base, and there was a fair bit of frustration towards January and the transfer window in January and what could have been and what should have been and what we didn't do and what we could have done, etc. And I think if you do a season roundup, that'll come out quite heavily.
You probably played us at the wrong time because you just went to the top of the table and then you're coming up against a club who basically are your biggest bogey team in recent history. So you probably turned up thinking it's going to be a difficult. I know a lot of your fans said we'll take a point because of the form book always showed that Coventry got the better of you. So you probably played us at the wrong time, but the right time for us. And we had to win that game because all we kept thinking was, well, you've got an easier game the following weekend and we've got Sheffield United.
Yeah.
We could be 5-8 points behind you. And basically we've blown it, but we got on top again. Now, for me, your form dropped off dramatically with the injury to Hayden Hackney because it felt like once he came out of the team, you struggled. I don't know what your thoughts on that.
It's you couldn't. It'd be wrong to say it wasn't a contributing factor for sure. But I still, for me, and again, you'll get different opinions from different Borough fans. So you'll get we couldn't put the ball in the net. That's the biggest stat of the lot. So when you talk about form, what you won't see it is, and of course a lot of people don't like using this. So if you're a football fan of many years, they don't tend to like XGs and all the stats that come with the game. But if you look at the stats table, we were still performing heavily on the stats and outperforming most teams. But yeah, did we miss Hackney's driving force? You could argue for the game or two. Yeah, did he not drive us through midfield as much as he did? He obviously, he takes the game, he takes the ball from one half to the other, takes players on, that sort of thing. So yeah, it was definitely. It's wrong to say it wasn't a factor. It was definitely a factor, but I wouldn't say it's the biggest factor because we had 11 men against 11 against Charlton B team. We had 11 men against 11 against Portsmouth who hadn't done anything. And to be blunt, the result against you was a disappointing result, but it shouldn't have been a key result. The key results was win your own games in that period, and we didn't. And we performed on every metric by putting the ball in the net. Simple as that. And you know what? We were probably 4 goals short of being a lot closer to you, and in automatic, it's a pretty fine margin in the end of it. But I think, Marissa, you got your fan base was pretty frustrated as well. You went for a period of kind of turbulence, and then came up against us, and that's what swung it round, I think. So you almost did the reverse of us. You had your period of turbulence before we did.
Well, yeah, did we draw with Oxford the week before?
Yeah, you could break them down, could you? Yeah.
Yeah. And then you did exactly the same. We kind of felt all right then.
Yeah.
So obviously you missed out on automatics, and you looked at the lineups for the playoffs. Of course, come up against Southampton. Possibly the team nobody wanted to play really because of the form they're in. Now that form apparently was because of this Spygate and all the rest of it. So how did you feel after the first game? Well, you should have beat them anyway. Conway missed so many chances in that game. You should have been out of sight in the first 20 minutes. But how did you feel once the news came through that they had been spying on you in between the first and second leg?
Well, yeah, I mean, you start with a bit of disbelief and you think it's a bit of a non-story, and then you start finding out more and more detail. And as the more detail comes out, you're thinking, "What is it? This is really not right here." So there's been some rule breaking going on. And one thing you'll say about our chairman, Steve Gibson, is if you cross our chairman, Steve Gibson, and you don't have integrity and you break the rules, and it doesn't work out in his favour because by breaking the rules, which Derby found out, then he's going to come after you. And that's exactly what he did. So, some of the fans might have had complaints about Stevie Gibson putting his hand in the pocket in January, but none of us had any complaints about when he found out what what Southampton had been up to. So, yeah, it was a pretty strange feeling because it's quite unique, to be honest with you, to catch someone red-handed breaking the rules. They can say all they want about, well, everyone does it, but they were the ones who got caught.
Do you think this goes back to 1990? Is it 5-6 season? That famous season when your guys didn't turn up because of the flu epidemic, and of course Southampton benefited. We benefited because we would have been relegated had you not had those 3 points taken off you. And then when it came to that last game of the season, we had the hardest fixture and somehow won. Everybody else failed, basically. So there's possibly a bit of that with Gibson, isn't there? And he wasn't going to get caught again, was he?
Yeah, I think there's maybe a little bit of that, but I think there's also Gibson's got a track record even outside of that situation. And I'll go back to the Derby example of us finishing outside the playoffs and Derby in the playoffs. And what are the irregularities were of that deal? I don't remember the detail as well as other Borough fans would do. But you know what? He didn't let that one go. And I think even if Southampton had got a more favourable outcome, I'm pretty certain Gibson wouldn't have given up on that one either, to be honest with you. He's a man of strong integrity and strong willpower.
So going to I was going to say the Dell and St Mary's, that second leg, did you feel you had a chance though still?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the problem is that our team in depth, our strength in depth is always a problem. So we don't have necessarily someone who's going to come off the bench and change the game or give us some pace or give us more opportunities. Certainly, there are potential players who could do that, but they didn't have the form. So going to St Mary's, we knew we had to rely on the 11 on the pitch and it had been a long old season. And that 11, they played a lot of games between. I mean, Ayling's 30-something. He's virtually played every game of the season. You know, Fry's injury prone, McGree's injury prone. You know, McGree just come back from injury. You know, Conway's played every game. You know, the fact he got injured in the last game was a shock. I thought he'd get injured way before that. But yeah, crikey, it was doable. We had belief for sure. It wasn't done and dusted just because, you know, the first leg we haven't managed to put the ball in the net. We certainly had belief. And when McGree scored the first goal, crikey, yeah. And it was a tight game, you know. Saints got a goal back and their winner was a fluke, you know. It wasn't an intended shot. It was going to penalties. So it wasn't they might have looked the better team, but they didn't prove it until they got the fluke of the goal in the 116th minute. So it was very tight.
I don't necessarily think they were the better team. I think you just ran out of legs that last half an hour. You look absolutely shattered.
Yeah.
So what was the feeling with the fans then? Especially, we've been talking about it earlier about how we thought it was terrible, the Mickey taking with the binoculars and all that. Because it's not a great thing that they were doing. I don't know what you must, as a fan base, must have been fuming.
Yeah, I mean, Twitter's been vitriolic. I mean, Twitter can be a bad place at the best of times. But yeah, the Southampton, I think the worst thing I'd say, and I realise it's not the entire fan base that's represented by Twitter, but you know, the fact I mean, one of their songs says, "We'll spy when we want, we spy when we want. We're Southampton, we spy when we want." You know, it's just so dumb when you've got an ongoing case which has got a serious, you know, implications to it. What you don't do is put yourself in a position of goading the people who might, you know, be in a different place in a week's time, given whatever the judgment and whatever the ruling was going to be. And the evidence is coming out now more and more about what Eckhart and a lot of what they were up to and how systemic it was. I know there was 3 cases, but I suspect if CCTV was enacting in more teams than those 3, they would probably see quite a few Southampton analysts knocking around the training ground. I've got no proof of that, and I can only say it as me. But you know, your feeling is, well, what they spied on Oxford in December, and then the next one was Ipswich in April. I mean, what, they didn't do anything in January, February, March? I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, we've said that, and it's convenient that the only 3 ones they've admitted to, they didn't win, which is, basically, you know that's dodgy, don't you? So before we get Joe the Hull fan in as well, you can have an arm wrestle.
Really? Okay.
A virtual arm wrestle. Where were you when you heard the news? Because if it had been me, no matter where I was, I'd been screaming like a big girl, basically.
Yeah. Well, we'd almost resigned ourselves to say, look, we believe the right result is that Southampton get expelled, but we didn't think the commission would have the bottle to do that. And so, yeah, I'll be honest with you, I was just out for a walk. I've done my work during the day, and I work at home. So I was like, crikey, I'm just going out for a bit of fresh air. And my phone was in my pocket, and he got out, and there's 8,000 messages on there. And you're like, my God. So yeah, literally jumping around in the street and then ringing, texting, whatever. And you have to just go and sit down somewhere just to take it in. It was quite overwhelming, is too strong a word, but it was a bit of disbelief. So crikey, they've done it. They've actually had the bottle to, you know, follow through. So the case, I mean, from what I can understand, Borough's internal team were very confident about their case. And it's proven right. The judges backed them for the first one and the appeal as well. So, you know, that's twice Southampton had the opportunity to say, well, crikey, but didn't work. So, yeah, but very good. Yeah, I have to say justice was done in my book. I know there's all sorts of opinion out there, but 2 judges gave their opinion and I agree with them.
So do you think you should be in the final, though, and not just Hull get promoted?
Yeah, I think it's fair. Yeah, I can understand if you're from Hull side, you've got different views on the game. But no, of course, yeah. Why shouldn't we be in the final? There's a final to be played. The competition was 2 semi-finals and a final. The team we played had been done for cheating, therefore they got thrown out. So we take their players. It's pretty simplistic. I've seen O'Hara sort of talk about bleating on about Borough lost 2 games, so shouldn't be in it. But that lad talks a lot of nonsense in my book. 2 judges have given their opinion, they've given a verdict, and they've given the consequence. That's it, done. And they're the judges in the case, and I trust their judgment.
Brilliant. Miles, Jack, do you want to ask Jonathan anything?
I suppose the only question I've got is, I know we talked about how your season sort of tailed off a little bit towards the end. Do you think if you had a striker like, let's say, Ollie McBurney or Vipotnik, that you would have finished in the top 2?
That debate's never going to stop, because you can say yes, you can say no. So there was a huge rumour in January that Bamford had a chance of coming to us but didn't, and whether it was money, whether it was true, etc. But would they have come on, and would they have got that goal against, because the 6 teams at home who we didn't get a result against, they played, and they probably did the same to you, in fairness. Like Portsmouth put 10 behind the ball, Charlton put 10 behind the ball, Bristol put 10 behind the ball, Oxford put 10 behind the ball, and we just couldn't break them down. Now, would a 9 have been in a different position, a different space to score that goal, given that we actually had created God knows how many chances? It's 50-50, Jack, I've got to say. You know what? Versus if we had a more pacey winger. You remember, like last season, we had Ben Doak on loan, for example, the lad who's now at Bournemouth and in the Scotland squad. I mean, he made a heck of a difference because of his pace, and he always attracted 2 men to the ball. You could argue if we had someone like that on the wings, would that have made a difference versus a number 9? So you're right. There's an argument for it. I'm not fully on board with it, but there's definitely an argument for it.
Fair enough.
Brilliant. Well, stay on, because you've got Joe coming in now. Miles, this one's yours then.
Nice.
Hey, Joe.
How's it going? Anything happened this week, or?
Joe, how are you, mate? Thanks for joining us. Listen, I mean, this must have come to a shock for all of you Hull fans, this surely, because this must be really difficult in the guys, the team trying to train, because they're having to figure out who they're going to be playing, Southampton or Middlesbrough, to start with.
Yeah, look, we've been stuck in the middle of this whole mess, and that's exactly what it's been from start to finish. It's been farcical, and it makes the whole league look amateurish in a sense. Like, you see stories about Tonderecker not having the same briefing Will Still had about the rules at the start of the season that have come out today. But then you counter that with, what about when he was at Genoa, who got done for spying 10 years ago? What about when he was assistant manager at Barnsley, right after Spygate the first time between Leeds and Derby? So it's 100% a systemic thing throughout the club, and the appeal documents just come out and said pretty much exactly that. And some of our podcast guys are sifting through that at the moment. It's been a weird sort of 10 days running up to the final. Yeah, I know you guys were talking about where Jonathan might have been when he found out the news. I was here. I was literally just there hanging some clothes up to dry that had just come out the wash. My watch buzzed and I had a Sky News notification. I saw 3 words: Southampton kicked out. Dropped the clothes, ran straight downstairs. It was just completely mental. And then the podcast group chat went into overdrive, setting up an emergency podcast because the opponent changed and we had to do predictions again. Like I say, to bring it back around, we've been stuck in the middle, but Sergei is very good at shutting the noise out and keeping the players focused. And it could be a lot worse. Southampton and Middlesbrough, there's similarities in style. If we were going on to play a Millwall or a Wrexham, then we might have had a bit more of a problem. But style-wise, Southampton and Borough, there's a lot of similarities there. Both teams like to have the ball, and teams that like to have the ball and put the impetus in the game suit the way Hull City like to play.
Yeah, and I mean, as fans yourselves, I mean, we were surprised that we've won the league. We can't believe it as fans. As fans for you though, you had transfer embargoes. You couldn't sign certain players, and you've made it to the playoff final. It must be so special for you all, because for us watching from the outside in, I mean, I watched the Millwall the two legs against Millwall. Second leg, you were brilliant. You started off, you went at Millwall, and they couldn't really cope with you. You must be so surprised at what you've achieved.
Oh, it's mental. 364 days before that Norwich game, I was in Portsmouth in the best away end I've ever been in, celebrating staying up on goal difference. And then we get in the car, we walk back to the hotel where we parked the car, do all the checkout stuff, get in the car, stop at a fuel station. All right, Ruben Sayers is going to get sacked. Is he? Brilliant. And that sort of set the tone for the summer, where we wanted some stability and there was just none. And then for ages, we didn't know who the manager was going to be. We had all these different names bandied about. Michael Beale, former Liverpool winger Albert Riera was another one, but we ended up with Sergei Yakirovich. And the jury was out on him. A lot of people wrote him off. And the players took to him like a duck to water straight away. And because of that, that's how we got players like McBurney and Joe Gelhardt back. Joe Gelhardt, Leeds wanted to sell him to Rangers. They had a £3 million offer on the table that Joffy turned down because he'd been in touch with Kyle Joseph and Charlie Hughes, two lads who he knew from Wigan when they were all there together. And as soon as he knew that the gaffer was all right, he knew there was only one place he wanted to come. And everyone has been surprised. And I've just said all season, enjoy the ride. It doesn't matter about enjoy the journey. It doesn't necessarily matter about the destination, whether we missed out on playoffs or got in playoffs or got to where we are now. So whatever the outcome at Wembley, it's been a fantastic season. And on top of playoffs, everything has just been a bonus.
Yeah, you were just talking about Charlie Hughes. He was linked with probably coming to us for a ridiculous fee. Was that ever the case? Was that the rumour around Hull itself that he was going to come to Coventry for, I think it was silly money, 10 million? I think the figures were rolling around.
Yeah, and it still wouldn't have been enough. It still wouldn't have been enough. Yeah, and then he had that unbelievable game against you guys on the first weekend of the season. Yeah, Charlie Hughes is an absolute warrior, and he's going into the playoff final. He's played the two playoff games and the game against Norwich with a double hernia, and wow. You know, he's going to have surgery on that in the summer. Matt Crooks has got to have surgery in the summer because he's been managing a shoulder injury all season. He's been managing that since October. You've got Mo Balumi, who turned down surgery to try and get back in case we got in for the playoffs, and then he scores that goal against Millwall. Yu Hirakawa turned down surgery because he thought there's a chance I can go to the World Cup here. So he still might have to have, all of those players might have to have surgery come the end of the campaign. Kyle Joseph has just had surgery on the injury he picked up against Millwall, so he'll be back towards the back end of pre-season. It sort of encapsulates our season, really, disrupted through injuries. I think I can name one player who's been fit all season long, and that's John Egan. That tells you the level that we've been working with. But yeah, back to Charlie Hughes. What a player. He'll go on and have some career in the game, I'm sure of it. And yeah, I'm very, very fortunate that any offer that you might have put in got turned down, and we clung on to him in the summer because he's been a big part of why we've done what we've done this year.
Yeah, I mean, it is fantastic for both of you. Jonathan, I mean, this game on Saturday, the kickoff time's been moved. I assume that's due to trains getting back in the evening, probably for travel arrangements. How do you see this going, you know, against Hull? You've been thrown in there. It's amazing really what's gone on to get to this final is just ridiculous. And I'll get to watch it before I go DJing on Saturday night, which is great. I can't wait to watch it. But I mean, how do you see this going for Borough? Because Conway's out injured now, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's out. Hackney should be back, if that's correct.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I think Hackney's definitely training. So Hellberg talked today and said they'll check him out over the next couple of sessions, but we might get 60 minutes out of him, that's for sure. So I don't think we'll get 90 because he's been out for 6 weeks or so now. So yeah, he'll definitely short of fitness. So, but we got Conway operates on the left rather than up top with number 9. So we got McGree, who normally comes in off the left. So if Hackney starts with Morris as our centre midfield 2, then McGree should operate and come in off the left, basically, with Strellick as the man up top. So the question will be is, a bit like Joe was saying there, this last week for the players has been all over the place. So, Hull have been waiting to see what's going to happen. Is it going to be Saturday? Is it going to be Southampton? Is it going to be Borough? Even are we going to go up without a game sort of thing? And then Borough have gone from, right, we're out. The players were in, Fry and Conway were distraught. Hackney too, even though he didn't play, were very upset after the result against Southampton last. Crikey, seems ages ago, doesn't it? But just the other week. Then you've got the whole right. It's gone to the panel. All right, we're back in. Oh, they're appealing. They're back out. And Hellberg said we've not really trained because our heads aren't really in it. It's you're training for what you don't really know. So it's only kind of today. So no excuses really. It's all 100% go now. And I wonder if it'll come down to just who plays the occasion better. And what I mean by that is you've got 22 lads on the pitch. And Joe, you might correct me. You might know better, but I don't know how many of them have played a Wembley game of this magnitude or even played at Wembley before. Hellberg being Swedish, Sweden loved the UK English football, so Wembley's a big deal for him. He's never even been there before, so when he steps on the pitch on Saturday, he's got his own personal kind of, elation going on there. Wembley's a big pitch, 90 minutes is a long time. It's who plays the occasion better, to be honest with you. And because they can be quite turgid games, can't they? And quite boring because nobody wants to make a mistake versus going for it. So it could be a cagey game. And sorry, I'll repeat myself. It could be just who plays the occasion better and who can last the 90 minutes better.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, you've got Ryan Giles plays for you now. He was on loan with us, and then he was on loan at Middlesbrough when we beat them in the playoffs 3 seasons ago. He is a good player. He was at Wolves for quite a while. He came to us. He's pretty pacey, pretty good with his crosses. The wide players are going to be quite key for this game on Saturday, I think, being such a big pitch, don't you think?
Yeah, it's something Sergei was talking about today in the presser. It's like people always think, Wembley, it's the biggest pitch in the country. It's actually only a metre bigger than what we play on at home anyway. So it's a little bit bigger, and it will make a difference, but not a massive one. Just building on what Jonathan said about playing the occasion, absolutely right. We've got players. Like Louis Coyle was saying it in his presser today as well. We have got we've got a lot of experience in that. Like in big games, you've got McBurney, Egan, Lundstrom, Dowell, who've all been promoted to the Premier League before. Giles, who's been in playoff campaigns with Middlesbrough. Crooks, who's been in playoff campaigns with Middlesbrough. Liam Miller's played Copa America games, World Cup games, Europa League semi-final games and stuff like that. Amir took a penalty. Amir Hadjiametovic took a penalty in the biggest pressure he's ever faced to get Bosnia to the World Cup. Shemi Ajay's played a lot of international football. We've got a lot of experience in this group, and that'll benefit us for sure. And something Craig Fagan, who was part of our team that went up in 2008, said in the run up to the game, to this game, he said that when what helped that group out was going to Wembley the day before the game, because then they get that sort of, oh my God, this is enormous feeling out of the way. And he spoke about something Brian Horton said to that team pitch side when they were having their little walk around and getting familiarized with their surroundings, and how it just sort of like settled them, how having that experienced character who knows all these situations, how that settled them down. And then he obviously joked, well, you can't blame a crap touch on this pitch because it's brilliant and stuff like that. You can't blame a bobble if you cock up. In sort of, classic Brian Horton laughy jokey style. Yeah, I think we've got the minerals to play the occasion, and to bring it back to your wide players, Ryan Giles and Ollie McBurney, they've been such a brilliant combination, especially early in the season. Then since then, they've both had their injuries and stuff like that. So, yeah, it does come down to who plays the occasion, like Jonathan said. And the games, as Jonathan said again, they're often very, very cagey. No one wants to step out of line, to take too big a risk. But you know you've got to score a goal, at least one goal, to have a shot at winning the game. And a lot of the time, these games, they are 1-goal games, or there's a goal in it. So don't expect a thriller, which we have had a couple of this year because of the way we play football. Notably one against Middlesbrough at home when we lost and were 4-0 down at half time. I'm looking forward to the day, looking forward to the game, and whatever happens.
Yeah. You know, Joe, you've got that game you just alluded to there. That was our Borough moment of truth. And what I mean by that, so when we come and scored 4 at your place, that was pretty much our first view of Hellberg, and everyone's like, "My God." I mean, I'm not saying Hull had the greatest of games, but Borough had the reverse. So and he's like, "My goodness, it's a bit different under Hellberg." We're not saying, because no one really knew who Hellberg was. And there's one thing I'll say, although I've said it's cagey, there's one thing Hellberg does try and do. He's all about forward intention and momentum and high press. So if he keeps to that, then it could be pretty frenetic, and they'll certainly look for an early goal. I'd be surprised if Borough don't come out the blocks fast and look for an early goal.
I think both teams could be looking for an early goal, just because it settles nerves down.
Yeah,
and I don't think you necessarily want to go into the playoffs with a mentality of, right, get a goal in the first 5 minutes, then just hold on, because that for me is a really, really stupid thing to do. To try and hold on for 85 minutes or whatever it might be. But both teams will want an early goal and a string of early chances and a spell of possession, just to settle the nerves down and get the fans behind them a little bit. And it's how playoff finals go. And it comes back to exactly what you've said: play the occasion right.
It's funny sorry, Marcy. It's funny how you said about Ryan Giles and McBurney, because it's funny I've exactly copy-pasted the 22-23 season, which you lads obviously did us in the semi-final. Ryan Giles to Akpom was our key to that. Was one of our big keys to that season, I have to say. So it'll be interesting to see what form he picks, because we always found Ryan Giles great going forward, not quite so good going back. I don't know if he's improved since then, but
yes, all right.
I love it. And by the way, Charlie Hughes will be about 5 million after his double hernia operation, and if you don't go up, so we'll get a bargain, won't we? and if Borough don't go up, we'll get Hackney for a steal as well.
That won't be a steal.
Yeah.
By the way, this is brilliant. This is so good. We've got some score predictions coming in, which is nice. Finn's gone. He's who's going up? 1 Hull, 2 to Borough. Mick Davenport's coming. He says Borough are going to win 3-2. Finn's changed it now. He's gone 2-1 to Hull. Then we've got Foxy Muldoon's coming. He says 3-3, but Borough win on penalties. Borough win on penalties. But yeah, so listen, it's fantastic in a way that you that this is happening. I mean, whatever's gone on this week with Southampton is disgusting, but now you can get on with it. Kickoff's an hour earlier, which is great. I can watch it. I think it's fantastic for you both. And, if Hull come up, well, we're guaranteed 2 points. If Middlesbrough come up, we're guaranteed 6.
Yeah.
Here's something for you then, lads. In the last 20 years, you've played 31 head-to-head games. Hull have won 11, Borough have won 15. You've only drew 5. And I'll come to you first, Jonathan. In the last 8 games you've played Hull, obviously I know you lost your most recent game 1-0 to them at home, but the previous 7 games to that, you've won 5, drawn 1, lost 1, and you've scored 17 goals in that window. Obviously, we talked about earlier how Cov have got the number on Borough at the moment, have done for quite a while, seemingly. Do you feel like you have a little bit of that over Hull at the moment, or not, because you lost your last match?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's the most recent. The most recent was what? Hull won, didn't they? So that blights the thinking, doesn't it? So you know what? Because there's loads of stuff. You know, it's not a Hull Borough stat, but what's the other one? Is that Borough's playoff record's atrocious. You know, we lost the last final against Norwich. We lost semi-finals to you. We lost semi-finals to Villa. You know, I think the only playoff success we've got is back in the day when we knocked Chelsea out there, what was the Division 1 or Premier League, as you call it now, and we sent them down and we went up. And that's 1988. Otherwise, but Joe, I think you and all, you've got a much better record in playoffs than we have, I think it's fair to say. Is that right?
We've got a 100% record in playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the Championship playoffs, we've never not gone up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I quite like that. I prefer to be on the other end of that stat. So you know that stat you just read out there, Jack, about us having a superior record bar the most recent one. I'd rather be on the other end of that, because I'd rather be in the manager going in saying, lads, we've got to do this, because they've done us every time. It's almost like an incentive to say, don't let it happen again. Obviously, Coventry, you can just say, well, it happens every time, so come on.
Just to jump in on there as well, form goes out the window. Yeah. It's a final, it's a one-off game, and we you know, I treat the playoffs as two finals. If you win those two, you get to a third. And in the finals we've had so far, Norwich was winner takes all. Win and you can get in the playoffs if results go your way elsewhere. Results went our way elsewhere. Thank you, Borough, for doing mauled by the Tigers at Wrexham. That was absolutely superb. And we got in the playoffs. That's one off game, one final one. Over the two at Millwall, we got the better of those. So yeah. And I back Sergei. I think Sergei has the tactical flexibility that not a lot of Hull City managers have had recently, to play a game and play an occasion to come back to that perfectly. He's done it so many times this year where he's not been afraid to change things. Like even in the Millwall second leg, putting an extra defender in and putting Shemi Ajayi in with John Egan and Charlie Hughes to try and deal with Coburn by putting an extra body at the back and not making Coburn drag Hughes out so much.
Hey Joe, have you got off your bench for Saturday? Would you say you've got game changers? So if it's 60 minutes, it's all 0-0, and you know things need to happen. Have you got people who can come off the bench and make? You know, obviously you've got the old Borough boy McNair, but he's more defensive. Have you got the other side where players can come off and change the game attackingly, offensively?
I'd say so. Given Balumi and Gelhardt came off the bench against Millwall and scored twice, scored once each. I think that obviously was with Kyle Joseph starting, so he's out, and one of Balumi or Gelhardt will come in. I can see him sticking with the five, right? And so one of Balumi or Gelhardt will be on the bench. And then on top of that, you've got Lewis Kuma, one of the quickest players we've got. Yu Hirakawa, who is super direct. Looking into midfield, you've got Darko JB, who scored against you guys back in December. David Akintola has been registered. To the delight of all Hull City fans, even though he's useless because he's just the nicest, most fun bloke ever. So we've got players who change the game. We're weak, and where we have been in the second half of the season is we haven't got an alternative to McBurney. We haven't got someone who, if McBurney's flagging, you can bring on in a league game and stick up front and do a job. But McBurney's going to be on the pitch in case it goes to penalties anyway, so that's kind of irrelevant. So I'd say from the bench we've got a good lot of depth to change the game in an attacking sense, and then like Paddy McNair going defensive. Fullbacks will have Cody Drama fit. He's been training since the start of this week, I think, so he'll be around. Matty Jacob at left back. And then in midfield, Amir Hadjiahmetovic is fit, and that's massive because he's massively grown into this season. No Toby, who was so good against Coventry, and then we've not seen him after that. His season's done. But yeah, midfield bodies, John Lundstrom. If Crooks doesn't start, then you don't
think Crooks will start?
It depends what he does with Amir. Because I think Sergei likes Amir Hadjiahmetovic, but I can see him sticking with the 5 at the back and then going Slater and one of Crooks or Hadjiahmetovic. I think it's more likely to be Crooks, but it wouldn't shock me if it was Amir.
Yeah, and it would go out. Crooks is well received at Hull as well, isn't he?
Oh, what a blow! What a blow.
He's very popular at Borough too.
He's a bit like what I was saying with Akintola, except he's a better footballer. He's just such a nice bloke. He has such a feel good.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
He's got such a feel good sort of like factor around him. Like we put a video out today of the players getting on the train to go down to London, and Ennis Destan, funnily enough, who we loaned out, it was on FaceTime. And someone passes the phone to Matt Crooks. He goes, "All right, fella, still not had an haircut, have you?"
I'm surprised they didn't fly him down. They didn't fly the team down on your plane that you've got.
Oh, the
Tiger plane.
Yeah, I've been on that a couple of times.
I've seen that a few times at Birmingham Airport. So
Teams...
listen, we got we're going to let you go in just a sec. But Alison Berry's come in. Said it's great to have two unparachuted teams in the final, which would be great because there'd be 2 of us going up, which is absolutely fantastic. Couple more scores coming in. Paul Collins says 2-1 to Hull. Finn says Borough are the EFL cat, so many lives. Absolutely superb. Now, before you go, then come on, then let's get a score off both of you. Jonathan, give us a score. What do you think your score's going
to be? He's worried.
You know what? 90 minutes. You know what? I'm going to go 3-1. 90 minutes, Borough.
3-1, 90 minutes.
We've got to win it. We've got to win it in the 90. I feel. I think we got, and I think we'll be 2-0 up at half time. If we're 2-0 up at half time, 3-1. Yeah.
Flipping heck. What about you, Joe? What about you?
I said this on the pod on a podcast. I'm going off vibes. Let's be honest, but I'm also going off precedent. 2008, 1-0. Second half strike down the east end of Wembley. Dino. 2016. 1-0. Second half strike down the east end of Wembley. Diame. I'm going 1-0. Second half strike down the east end of Wembley. But this one ain't outside the box. It's Ollie McBurney who's scoring it, and he doesn't do anything outside the penalty.
Brilliant.
I was sort of thinking, like joking in the run up to the playoffs. Oh well, it's got to have a D involved in it somewhere. Is it Kieran Dowell's time? It's been not great for us since he came in. Let's be honest. But nah, big games rely on big players, and Dino and Diame were that. Ollie McBurney is exactly that. So I think someone who didn't take Tommy Conway's spot in the Scotland squad because he picked Ross Stewart instead for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think he takes a spot in the Premier League away from Tommy Conway instead.
Right.
That's poetic,
well, listen. I do hope you have a fantastic day down at Wembley. If you haven't been before, it's a magnificent stadium. It's absolutely superb. And the only problem is not all the bars have got beer on tap. They sell it by the can and it's extortionate. So, so be a little bit careful. You have to walk around the ground to find a bar that sells it on tap. So I don't know where you're sitting. Who's in the East End? Who's in the West End?
I'm in the East. Hull City have got our end of Wembley.
So you're in the East.
Every time we've been to Wembley, we've always had the East End.
Okay.
And as a ginger man in 30-degree heat, which is shorts and t-shirt weather, I was saying today there is not enough sun cream in the world.
Yeah.
It's going to be hot.
I'm
We
going to
didn't talk about the weather being a factor for the game on Saturday. 30 bloody degrees. I mean, it's like the first time this year it's been that hot. So none of the players have played in that temperature all year. That's for certainly not in Borough and Hull. That's for sure.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure they're going. I'm sure they're going to have. I'm sure they're going to have drinks breaks, and they're going to factor that in. Jonathan, are you going down?
Yes, yeah, I've got my ticket, so it came through today. So yeah, I'm in bottom tier, kind of 20 throws back from the pitch. So and
Brilliant.
you know what beauty is as well, just on a personal. My lad, I actually live down south, but I'm Borough born and bred. My lad is a Borough fan, but he's we go to all the games, but we have to travel up from Surrey, so it's a hell of a thing. So he gets to go to Wembley for the first time. So I'm dead excited for him because. You know, Wembley and Borough, obviously we had that spell where we went through quite a lot, but before we did it in the 90s, we never did Wembley. We did the ZDS once, you know, so the fact that he's got Wembley already in his, you know, in 2026, I'm dead made up for him, you know. So,
How old is he?
He's 18 now, so he's been following Borough. Yeah. So he was too young for the first one back at Norwich, but this is his first one, so happy days. I'm well happy.
That was the same age as I took my lad to Wembley when we got to Wembley. Yeah.
Can I jump in and say for the FA Cup semi-final and final in 2014, I was 8 years old.
Oh,
and
wow.
like my dad was buzzing like, oh my God, we're going to Wembley. And for me, like at that age, you sort of don't really understand it. It was just sort of another away game.
Yeah.
And even for the playoff final in 2016, when I was 10 years old, I don't remember a lot about those days. So providing I keep a lid on the drinking, which I'm going to try and do until after game. I should remember a little bit more about these two.
Listen, it's going to be great watching it, and I hope you both have a fantastic day. And we wish you both the best. And whoever wins, we'll see you next year in the Premier League.
Yes.
And you can come back on here, and we can have a Premier League chat.
I appreciate it. Cheers for having us on. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant, guys. Well done. Thank you so much. And as I say, good luck for for Saturday.
Cheers. All the best, Joe.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. Love it. Superb. Claudio's microphone's broken.
No, it's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Oh, it's all right now.
No, for some reason, it's interesting because I'm looking at the two teams. I mean, obviously, Borough, we tend to do the double over them. So you think, yeah, if they come up, we get the 6 points. But Hull's food is really good on an away day.
And Hull's closer than Borough is as well for an away day.
But the interesting thing I forgot to ask Joe, because obviously we've done the double over Middlesbrough. So we were at our best when we played them both times. Against Hull, we weren't at all. Be interested to know what he thought of us. Because we weren't very good in those 2 games, were we?
Well, why didn't you speak up?
Well, Jack kept muting me.
Right. Okay, now listen.
2 great guests.
You're echoing again.
2 great guests.
Brilliant guests, but you're echoing again.
Yeah, you are.
StreamYard, it's bloody useless.
No. You got all this latest technology and it don't work. Simple as.
It's not a problem with Jim Brown.
Right then. Listen. Oh man, that's going to annoy me.
Can you not hear it?
I'm muting him. That's annoying me, man. I can just. He's gone. Get rid of him. Okay, let's quickly get on then, because we weren't going to do long shows during the summer. Give us a like and subscribe. Come on, it's free. Or you can join as a member. You get loads of little emojis for $1.99 or $4.99 a month, and it goes towards the channel. And also you get exclusive access to early interviews on the History Podcast, but also you get early access to our road shows, and our latest one, Michael Doyle, Leon Kelly, and Dave Body down at Greens. The first part is available, so you can listen to that now. And but you got to join, $4.99 or $1.99, please. It would be most appreciated. It does help the channel because we have got lots of plans for the future, and the ball is rolling. I have been busy. I may be semi-retired, but I tell you what, I ain't stopped. Have I, Jack? I've just not stopped, have I? It's just non-stop.
Yeah, we've all been putting in the graft, and you'll see signs of it soon as possible, basically. So
Everyone behind the scenes. You wouldn't believe how much goes on behind the scenes, would you, Jack? You know, all of us. Vicky's having a break. She's gone to a concert outdoors. Couldn't have picked a better weekend. I just hope she's got loads of sunscreen to keep her nice and protected. Anyway, right, he's back. Is it going to echo? He's frozen now.
No, I'm keeping still.
we sound good. We sound good.
We sound good. Okay, right. Just pick one player. Okay, just pick one player that you would like to join us, Claudio. One. Who would be your dream player? Come on, that's available that you want.
If they get relegated, Somerville.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh,
Which they will get relegated, although they might not.
They will.
but is he as good as Mason Clark?
Yeah, but you need a squad.
You do need a squad. You do need a squad.
That's the thing, isn't it? You need a squad.
Yeah, you do need a squad. That's a good shout. I like it. I like that. I like that a lot. I think Spurs are going down, to be honest. Jack, one player.
I'm going Marco Senesi. I watched Bournemouth Man City the other night. He had a decent game. He's out of contract. The manager's changing. I know he's been linked with Spurs, but you're not going to go to Spurs unless the two centre halves leave, are you? Because you're not going to get a game. It would be a big coup if we got him. I think, you know, he's achieved European football this year with Bournemouth, but that would be a dream signing for me. Shore up the defence. He's left-footed. Partner Bobby very well. Ball playing. What more do you want?
Yeah, I like it. I like that as well. Yeah, I was watching Match of the Day on Sunday, and they were mentioning the players that are leaving, and you think, oh, what about him? What about him? What about him? And you're like, oh, what about him? And you're like, oh, but what about him? And it's like it just opens up everything, doesn't it? By the way, before I give you mine, Mark has come on. He said, "This is the motto for of this webcast. We aren't going to do a long show." And yes, I know it's the summer. We're not going to do long shows. Oh well, what do we know? I would like, and I know we wouldn't get him. I know he'll go to a top 10 team, and he'll probably want to stay in London. I would like Jared Bowen. That's who I would like. I think that would be my pick. You know what I mean? But I know we ain't going to get him. I know he's going to go to someone in the top 10 or top 8 that's playing in Europe or whatever, because, you know, that's.
Someone's breaking in. Is it this guy? No,
I don't know. I don't know what that was. Could you hear that then? Did you hear it?
Tapping.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
But yeah, Jared Bowen. But I'm going to have a quiet little word with Danny Dyer in a couple of weeks. Yeah, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to have a little word with Danny Dyer. Say, Danny, come on. You know, it makes sense.
Can you just reply to Finn? We're trying to be realistic. Obviously, we can't pick anybody. This is players we think we might be able to sign. Not
Mbappe.
Declan Rice every day of the week. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. If I could pick anybody, or even Haaland, yeah,
not going to happen. Anyway, we all know of this photo. Fantastic photo.
Seriously,
that's brilliant. But the club have come out with this today.
Don't start me off on this
80
one. I'm gonna,
quid.
Yeah,
for
I'm
a
going to make my own.
It's probably about A4. It's got the photo in it, but they've chopped a few players out. So you've got Tats's face missing on the bottom. Who's it on the right? You've got Bidders missing
Milan.
out. And then
Mignoc, it don't matter.
Yang on the right and Milan on the left that's being chopped off. And then even...
Oh, hold on the top row.
It's Latabodier.
On Yeka. Onyeka,
Onyeka, sorry. Latabodiere and Onyeka.
and it covers out the trophy.
Yeah, and it covers the trophy. 80 quid for that. Do you know what? I've been very, very highly praising the retail department since Doug's took over. This is shocking.
Terrible. Absolutely. If that's the first thing that they bought out for us winning the championship,
Well, that.
right? It's you know what I mean. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's rubbish. It's rubbish.
Take the photograph in front of the goal.
Who's authorised that?
You do the photograph in front of the goal, don't you? So the goal's behind them all. Or I don't know.
I'm not being funny. Yeah, but I'm not being funny, Claudio. You could get that picture off Facebook. You could print it out yourself, put it in a lovely frame like that, without the net, and have it on your wall for £5.
Can I say it's not even equal?
What?
The borders look terrible.
Yeah.
What?
It's not straight.
It's not the borders. Look at the border all around.
Yeah, I know.
It should be equal.
It's not straight.
No, because it's got the plaque underneath.
Or even with the plaque, you could have had some. Yeah, it's crap.
Oh, yeah. It is crap. It's rubbish.
Yeah,
it's absolutely rubbish. So seriously, club, what are you doing? If that's the best you can do for us winning the league, well, ain't good enough. That's what I think. We're not having a moan. We've won the league.
I think it's a fair comment.
It is a fair comment.
80 quid, come on.
I know, 80 quid for a
if that
photo.
was a tenner, fine. But
For a photo. For a photo. It's a photo.
It's bad. It's a ruined photo.
It is. Right. Anyway, Vicky's competition. If you watched the show last week, we had one ground. This week is photo number 2. Get your answers in. What is the link? Get your answers in to info@skybluefans.tv.
Are you able
Also,
to show the
that's
first
the week
photo?
before. There you go. There's the first photo. There's the second photo. Well, really, I shouldn't be showing the first photo because then if they haven't seen it, they've got to go back and watch the show.
Good shout.
Well, come episode 10, we're not going to show 10, are we? Should we only ever show 2? So next week we'll show photos 2 and 3. The following week we'll show photos 3 and 4. So it's only ever 2 at a time.
I reckon we just show 1. Anyway, international break key dates. September the 21st to October the 6th. November the 9th, November 17th. So if you want to go on holiday, book it in now. There's your dates.
I've already got my 2 in. I'm off the 1st to the 5th of October, and I'm off to the 13th to the 17th of November.
Brilliant.
And
you're off to Japan because we're going to win the league.
I wish. If you pay for it, I'll go.
No, I ain't paying for it. Also,
go fund me.
Right, Cov Master. Are you Coventry City? Are you the Master fans? Are you the Master of Coventry City? You fans out there watching this show. Now we get over 2,000 people watching this show every week. Every show. We want you to join us. 32 players. We've got 6 at the moment, I think. Are you the champion? We're starting a new quiz at the beginning of the season. We want you to take part in a tournament one-on-one on the show live. So you've got to have capabilities to be able to come online. And you're going to have 10 questions each in a Pop Master style. So you're going to have a limited amount of time to answer the question. And you have got 10 questions each. And the winner of each round goes through to the next round. And the winner at the end of the season will win a trophy. Yes, you will win a trophy. Enter now, info@skybluefans.tv. And if you want to recommend anybody, please do. They can come on, but they've got to be able to have the internet and be able to come online and not be shy on camera. So if you can do that, that'd be great. Thank you to Instinct Tattoo Artists again. £100 for a black and white, 120 for a coloured tattoo. Thank you so much. That was my thing. That was my tattoo that I had to have done because we won the league. And if you want one of these, fantastic. Head over to jkmartwork.com. This is his latest drawing. It is amazing to have that talent, to be able to draw that. I mean, I've got Sakamoto behind me from Gordon Tully, which is amazing in pencil sketch. Superb. This is just as good. And there it is there, the final product. Superb. So get it booked now. Order one online, 20 quid for an A3, 12 quid for an A4. And if you want anything else from him, there you are. He's got those. Now, we're not getting anything from him. I just thought I'd promote him for him because I think this is something special. Like the club shop, like the club have done that. All right, not being funny. Would you have that for 80 quid? Or would you want that in an A3 size for 20 quid?
Yeah.
Jack, which one would you like?
The latter, that one. Unreal.
Claudio?
20 quid.
Oh, obviously, but that needs to be behind a fence or something.
So there you go. That for 80 quid or that for 20 quid on an A3. A4, 12 quid. So there you go. And as I was saying about Gordon Tully, that's my little drawing here. I mean, that's art as well. It's fantastic. Absolutely superb. I'm so proud I got that. I'm so pleased I got that. So pleased. I can't believe you drew that for me. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's just brilliant. Right, a few more comments in, then we've got to go.
We're going to do the season tickets, weren't we? What's happened there?
Oh, sugar. Yeah, we ain't spoken about season tickets. Go on, get some comments in quickly, then we'll talk about season tickets quickly.
Well, there was loads coming in about Jonathan and Joe, our fans, who did fantastically. So thanks for all the comments about that. Paul Stratton says, are we going to sign any of the 30-plus has-beens we're constantly being linked with everywhere? Look, two things. I'll say it one last time. Number one, the transfer window is not open. And number two, if you hear about it, we ain't signing him. Simple as. Doug does quiet business. It might be a little bit different now we're in the Premier League. You might get a couple of days of coverage, but you're not going to get it 6 weeks in advance. And we're not going to sign 36-year-old Jorginho Wijnaldum. Don't you worry.
No.
So Mark R says, how many times do you think we're going to break our transfer record this summer? It could happen 2 or 3 times.
8.
Whoa.
Well, we guess we've got to have 8 or 9 players coming in. I'm going 8.
Well, Onyeka's won straight away.
Exactly. There's one.
Rushworth
would be the next one.
In relation to this photo here, Anthony Pettifer said, is that the net price?
Hey.
Hey.
Well done. Well done. Very good. Very good. You win. US Sky Blue says 80 quid pocket change for Miles.
Not anymore.
Mark R says, I like the idea of Bowen too. Declan Rice as a backup for Matty Grimes works for me. And he says, is the connection grounds I've seen City get beaten at? Very might be. Just got to email him, Mark. That's all you got to do.
Email him. Vicky's keeping the tabs on it.
We don't know the answer, do we? We haven't got a clue.
I do. I know the answer.
I've got a couple of guesses, but I have no idea whether I'm right.
Yeah, I know the answer.
US Sky Blue says, what a great price for the crest tattoo. I paid $250 for it.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Should have come over here and had it done.
That should be on a billboard on the highway. I'm assuming referring to the better photo, this one here.
That one. No, he's on about our show. Should be on that digital scoreboard.
Yeah, you're right.
That digital thing out the front of the ground should be live streaming on there. Do you know what? That ain't a bad shout. I'll look into it.
Martin says, wait for Fabrizio Romano to announce it. It's literally the man's job. I don't like him, to be honest. I don't like it. Finn says, no, it's the gross price.
Clever again.
Gross. Very good. Very good, Finn. Well done.
Oh, dear,
Well
dear, dear.
Foxy Muldoon says, heard there was a game of football last night. No, I haven't.
No.
No, I ain't heard that one. No.
There you go. We're up to date. Should we leave our next discussion points for next week, just in case you hear any info?
No.
We're doing it for a reason. And you're right. But first of all, for those puns that have just come in, round of applause. Right then, quickly then, ticket prices. Hurry up, will you? Season ticket prices, what do we think they're going to be? Well, mine ain't costing me anything, so I don't care. Claudio, you're the only one that's got to pay. What do you think the season tickets are going to be? Oh, yeah.
Right. I think Doug could pay a blinder here and freezes ticket prices. You don't need to put them up. He's given over 5,000 free ones as such. He won't need the money. The income from the season tickets will be minimal to what they get from the Premier League. I reckon freeze the season tickets this season with obviously the next season say, look, you're going to have to pay a bit more. If he does put them up, I'm paying 440 or 480. I think it'll be about 550, I reckon. But there's less games, so you're going to pay more for your matches. So even if you kept them the same price, you're paying more for your games, aren't you? Because we've got fewer matches.
Hold on. So how much do you pay now?
I think it's 440.
So you think they're going to go up by 110 quid?
Well, 100 quid possibly. But if he froze the price, he's still getting more money for the matches played.
Yeah.
I think they put them up by 50 quid.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to go up.
Jack?
I think the cheapest adult, non-discounted for any reason, will be 500 quid. I think he'll have premium zone extra charge as he normally does in the middle of the pitch. I've even got a feeling he might start doing a premium zone charge in Singer's Corner, because it's a way of making more money, because the people in Singer's Corner aren't going to go, let's move away down to the boring corner. They'll stay where they are. They'll pay the charge. This isn't an idea, Doug. Don't listen to me, but I think it could happen.
Well, I think you should be charged. If you don't sing, you're in Singer's Corner, start singing.
Yeah, Miles, sing the Frank Lampard song. Yeah,
I
Miles,
do now. I do sing it now.
Song.
I do. I do sing it. I do sing it. I've been singing Doug King songs since day one. I have. Me and Claudio backed Doug King when he came in, didn't we, Claudio?
We did, yeah.
We sure did. By the way, Ken Otomo's come in and he's gone. It's an own goal, that, by the way. I need to message Ken Otomo, because I need to know if he wants to come to Greens on Sunday, because Jordan's playing there.
Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday. Also, I didn't mention tonight, and I forgot. I haven't got a poster up. I don't know why I haven't got a poster up. But this Saturday, if you want something to do because you're bored after the playoffs, it's Shepfest. Shepfest. Down at the Shepherd this Saturday. Shepfest. Come down. They've got a DJ on in the day, and they've got the best DJ on at night.
Oh, is Ken going to be there?
Yeah.
Boom. Brilliant. So if you want to come down to Shepfest,
hold on.
What?
Is Ken going to be there? Thank you.
No.
Who's there then, Miles?
No. That's what you should have had.
Oh, you can't say we don't have fun.
Oh man, it's got to be done. Mark R says he's guessing season ticket prices will go up by 50 quid, but no more than 100. So there you go. It's 4 less home games. And US Sky Blue, good luck with a price freeze. Doug knows people will pay a premium for #Premiership. Say it, Jack. Season tickets. Say it, Jack. Come on, Jack. Say it.
Why, people watching rugby union instead?
Doug's going to hit the corporate. He's going to hammer corporate next season.
Yes. He will do.
He needs to improve the food if he does that.
Well, he'll have to, but he will hammer it, I think.
Yeah. So,
By
the way, Christy Hanty says a Southampton spy outside Miles' studio.
Possibly.
That's what the noise was. So, never know. Yeah. So there we go. Well, that's it then, isn't it? We've done it. We're done. We're brilliant. Absolutely superb. Thank you very much, everybody watching tonight. We really appreciate it. And we are going to be here all through the summer. So please don't go anywhere else. I think we're the only ones doing it, aren't we, over the summer?
That's right. And me and Jim are continuing to do the history podcast pretty much every week. And there's one out now.
Fantastic. And Claudio, it's a really good one, isn't it?
It is. It's about a guy called Leicester State, who was the first schoolboy signed by Jimmy Hill. He's 78 and is very well clued up. It's really interesting to hear about life in the early 60s with Coventry City.
So what was his name?
Leicester State.
They are in a right state, Leicester. They've gone down to League One.
They are. Who are they? Who are they?
Miles, that didn't need an applause. That needed one of these.
Grown.
Grown. Hey, guess what, though? You never guess what. Guess what?
We are Premier League.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
We have only gone and won the league.
We have.
Right, we will see you all next Thursday. Hope you can join us. Yeah, we are working hard behind the scenes. You wouldn't believe what we've got coming up. It's going to be amazing. And if you want to get involved in the quiz, Cov Master, get in touch now. info@skybluefans.tv. Ready for the new season. Come on, you can do it. We will see you all next Thursday. Thank you very much, Claudio. Thank you, Jack. I hope you both enjoyed it. And thank you to our wonderful guests that came on as well. Absolutely brilliant, Jonathan and Joe. You enjoyed it, Claudio?
Yeah, I just got to go and scour the internet now and start looking for cars.
Brilliant. Well, if you need any help, let me know.
Okay.
I'm a car expert. Jack?
Yeah.
Enjoyed it?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
As always.
It's brilliant.
I didn't know what you were asking me. I was like, yeah, what's going on?
Anyway, listen, we're off. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves tonight, everyone. A big thank you again for watching, and we will see you next Thursday. Take care and have a great weekend. It's bank holiday. See you at the Shepherd Saturday. Ta-ra, everyone. Play up Sky Blues.
Play up Sky Blues.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.